video today, and I just wanted to say welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a good day, and if you're not, well, I hope this space here helps you feel better. All right, so what I'm going to do is paint. I haven't really got a plan in place. I was just like, you know what? I haven't been live on YouTube in a while and thought I would just jump on in and say, hey, what's up? How you doing? So here we are. I got my watercolor paints right here. So here's my palette, and I'm using Strathmore watercolor paper, hot press. So this is the paper, and then I have a Master's Touch brush in size 12. So that's what I'm using. And I think maybe I'll just paint some hearts. You know, everything's been heavy. Things have been really tough. The news has been like, right? So I know I've been stressed, and I've actually been taking like some time away from social media, not posting as much, not going live as much. I've just been choosing, I don't know, just to live intentionally and just more kind of just slower. Yeah. Just not letting all of the news hit me all at once every day, every moment of the day, because that's just been too much for me, right? I have a sensitive heart, and I care a lot, and all of this, I guess, was designed to hurt people and make them feel terrible and helpless. And so I'm stepping back a little bit and just trying to feel better and regulate, right? So that's where I've been. That's what I've been up to. I'm over on Substack now. I've been doing lives there every now and then, which is great because it posts over here on YouTube, and then it creates shorts for me, which is also nice. Just, you know, it lightens the load a little bit. But I figured since I haven't been here in a while that I would just say, hey, I'd show up. Hello, Kevin. How are you? Welcome. All right, so let's get started. I got my paint cup here. It's just water. So I've got my water here, and I'm just going to paint. Welcome, welcome. How are you? Happy Friday, everyone. All right, so I'm just going to put some water down. This is called a wet on wet technique. So you just place your water where you want it with your brush, and then you will come in with your paint. So wet on wet technique. And I'll show you in a second why that's such a cool technique and why I love using it so much. So the wet on dry technique is where you just paint directly onto the paper instead of adding water first, which is cool. That's fine all on its own. And I'm just painting. Welcome. Good to see you. Yeah, so that's a cool technique, but this is fun. Like, I don't know how well y'all can see, but oh yeah, I should be able to see. All right, so I just add the paint directly to the water. You see how it kind of just blooms and shifts? Like, that's fun. You kind of just let the paint move, let the water do its thing. I guess it's kind of just a bit of releasing control, right? You're not completely in control of this technique, but it's always fun to see how it turns out. My notification saying, hey, come pick up your groceries. Yeah, earlier they were like, oh, it's going to be busy. Your groceries are going to be late. And I'm like, okay, we'll see how that goes. And then now they're like, oh, it's on time. Come get your groceries. It's like, well, I'm doing a live now, so y'all can just wait. Hey everyone, welcome. Alright, so this is the wet on wet technique. You can see I got a really cool looking heart there now. I'm just going to keep going, and I'm going to put hearts all over the page. You know, Valentine's is coming up, and, you know, I just figured the world could use some more love right now, so why not? Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I don't know, I've been feeling pretty anxious, and, you know, I tend to, like, live in my head, if that makes any sense. Like, I'm constantly, my brain is always going. I'm always thinking. And so seeing the news and what's happening on social media has just been like very jarring and overwhelming. And I've just been so anxious and overwhelmed. But I figured, you know, I'm not the only one, right? There's lots of people feeling that way right now. And so I wanted to paint and maybe offer a safe space for everyone, at least for a moment. Yeah, and the thing about painting in watercolor is you don't have to be perfect. I know it can be intimidating to even like want to begin, but it's so worth it. Like, it's really, for me, it's been a really peaceful medium. Like, it really um, helps me feel better. All right, just used a different pink. This is kind of a reddish pink. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. Yes, absolutely. Yes, art is definitely like my therapy. So I grew up in an abusive home. It was terrible, and you know, I didn't really have anywhere to turn for safety, or, you know, anyone who would help me. I didn't really have that. So, I don't know, even at a young age, I used art as something to help me process my feelings and, you know, just cope. So, yeah, in a way, art has always been like my therapy. And I'm always trying to tell people, you know, if you don't feel good, you're anxious, and you've, you know, maybe wanted to try art, like, just go for it. Just give it a chance, you know. Don't strive for perfection. You know, try to aim for just feeling better. And the more you do it, the better you'll get. So, in any case, you know, it's good for you. All right, so there's another heart. I don't want to tilt it too much because I don't want the water to run, but yeah. So this is something you could do for yourself. This is something you could do with your kids. And watercolor can actually be pretty affordable. So this watercolor palette here that I got it from Amazon for like, I think it was less than $10. And then this brush, I think, was maybe around 5. And then maybe the most expensive is the paper, but it's still less than like $20. So, yeah. And what's cool about this medium too is, like, if you ever want to just paint outside, audible. Yeah, so I've got like this water bottle that I don't use anymore, and I'll fill it with clean water. And I don't drink out of it anymore because I use it to clean my brush in when I go paint in the park. But yeah, so it's a very, very portable medium, which is really great. Yeah, my mom passed away back in 2022, and I started in the park. I would just load up my paint and paper and all that and just go paint in the park. And that helped so much with my grief and just, processing childhood trauma and stuff. It helped so much. And of course, it like built up my self-esteem and everything too. So yeah. When the weather's better, maybe I'll go paint in the park again. Thank y'all so much for hanging out, for commenting and liking. Uh, if the mood strikes you, I'd appreciate a sub. If not, that's okay. But thank you so much for being here. I'm over on Substack. I have a Ko-fi, and I'm on Threadless. But no pressure. You don't have to go check those out if you don't want. But yeah, they're there, just so you know, if you are interested. And the hearts don't have to be perfect or symmetrical, or, you just want that kind of loose, kind of handmade feeling. Alright, so for right now, I have each heart separate. They're not going to be overlapping. And what I'm going to do after these all dry is I can go over and paint more hearts over them. And what's really cool about that is watercolor is transparent, so you'll still be able to see the heart that's underneath. And I really like that. That's pretty fun to do. Like, I'll do that with circles, so it'll look like bubbles or something like that. And I thought it'd be cool to do that with hearts too. Does anybody have any plans this weekend? I think we're supposed to be getting like some really bad weather, so there will definitely not be any leaving my house within the next few days anyways. So my plans are to spend time with my family. Probably gonna bake like some chocolate chip cookies for everybody. And I was kind of thinking maybe I'll make a stew. Keep everybody nice and toasty. Yeah, I use this recipe that my mom had. I mean, it's the stew that she would make for us when I was growing up. And I just love it. So a lot of stews are like beef broth based, and this stew is actually like tomato based. So I'll get like stews, and then I'll get like Italian seasoned diced tomatoes, and then tomato sauce, and put that in there. And then I've got like, you can put beef or you could put turkey, but you don't even have to do that if you don't want, like if you're a vegetarian. And I put carrots and celery, green onions, potatoes, all in that. And that's the stew. Of course, seasoning and stuff like that. But I just love it. It's not a common stew, I guess. Like I said, most people use like a beef broth for their stews, but not my mom. I really like her stew. And then I'll make cornbread to go with it too. Okay, so this is where we're at. That's It's raining pretty good out there. It's supposed to turn into ice and then heavy winds and super cold temperatures. So, not fun. But we'll just, try to stay inside and stay toasty. I'd say I'm looking forward to spring and more sunshine, which I am. But with spring comes storm season, and I'm not a fan of storm season. Because, tornadoes and everything. I hate tornadoes. They scare me. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to more sunshine. I don't like, that it gets dark at like 5:30, something like that. Like, just, no. I wish they would do away with daylight savings, since we don't really need it anymore. It would be nice if there was more daylight throughout the year, right? That's a thing, right? You do away with daylight savings, there's bound to be more sunlight, because, the way the hours are set up at that point. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how that works out, right? If they ever do that. Hello, how are you? Welcome. I'm just painting hearts today in watercolor. So this is where I'm at so far. And I'm probably just going to fill up the page. And when some of these hearts dry, I'm going to paint over them too. So you'll be able to see the heart underneath and the one above. My heater kicked on. It's really loud. If y'all are wondering what that was. Yeah, so I was on TikTok for, I don't know, a couple years or so. And I got to around like 5,000 followers. And it was just a really good community of people. And some of them have like moved over here and followed me, which is cool. Because I left TikTok, I left Instagram and Facebook. And I've just been focusing in kind of quieter places. Places that are less chaotic. For me anyways, right? So that's where I've been. Over on Substack and here. And then I got my Ko-fi and my Threadless that I've been focusing on. Now that stuff going right now, I entered, so there's this town that's not too far from me, and they were doing like a traffic light design. So they wanted people to design the traffic light boxes, like, with their art. And so I entered that, and I'm just waiting to hear back if I got accepted or not. And then Big Tex. I don't know if y'all know about Texas State Fair, but there's like this huge, statue of this cowboy. And he wears like a cowboy hat, shirt, pants, and boots. And here lately, they've been having people design the boots. So I entered that because they've been changing it every 3 years here lately. And it was time to get a new design. So I entered that. And what else? Oh, the ACLU was looking for an artist, a resident artist. So I entered that. And I'm just waiting to hear back to see if anything, comes of it. But you don't know if you don't try. So, yeah, and then before too long, I'm going to start focusing on trying to get my artwork licensed again. I had tried to do that a couple years ago or so, but you know, I didn't really have all the information on how to do that. But I feel like I'm better prepared now, so I'm going to try again. Yeah, I've been wanting to, you know, like make a living with my art and support my family. And so I'm just going to keep trying, keep working towards that goal. So I think, you know, a lot of my energy is going to go towards public facing art and licensing. Yeah, because my art's on Threadless, so I've already seen what my art looks like on like tote bags and stickers and t-shirts and things like that. And so I know that my art works on those type of things. Notebooks and shower curtains and stuff like that. So I know that it works. And so I have proof of concept now. So that helps. So we'll see. Hopefully I can do it. I'll keep trying, that's for sure. Hello, welcome. How are you? Yeah, so I've been like a busy bee. I know I haven't been posting a whole heck of a lot with videos and stuff lately, but I've been busy. Like last year, starting around August, I started working towards uh, making my art work more for me. So I'm not having to constantly create. I'm building like a foundation so my art can, you know, stand on its own by doing, you know, I rebranded Misty Blue Arts now. I used to be Designs by Misty Blue. I did a new logo. This is my new logo. And what else? Oh, I optimized my websites, my socials, stuff like that. Changed platforms. And so that started back in August, and I worked on that until the end of the year. And I tallied it all up, and I came up with over like 1,000 hours of work that I did from August to the end of the year. So that was like basically a year's worth of work, like full time, in just that span of time. And I was just, by the end of the year, I was exhausted. And so, you know, I've been taking it slower. I mean, I'm still moving forward by entering things and trying for things, but just taking it a little bit slower, not working uh, so hard like I did. But that was the point, was to get all that hard work in and to not have to keep, you know, pushing so hard after. Because, you know, I'm pretty sure I'm in perimenopause now. So my body's changing. I don't feel that great. And I'm like, I just knew that there's this season of my life now where I need to slow down. And so I was wanting to build for that in preparation of that. So that's what I've been working towards. I'm just like, what other colors can I use? Maybe I'll just start mixing some of these pinks up and see what colors I can get. Yeah, I don't really have a red so much in this palette. There's not a whole lot of pinks to choose from. but I can kind of mix it up a little bit. Oh, thank you for asking. Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. I'm hanging in there, you know, hanging in there. My anxious self and chronic illness self. I'm just doing the best I can. You know, still trying to make a positive difference and, you know, maybe help people through my art. You know, just trying to have a safe space for people to come into and maybe feel like some relief from the news and everything. Even if it's just for a minute. Because I know that's something like I feel like I'm needing right now. Is just a break from all of that noise and chaos. I feel like it's an exercise of, I mean, I really don't know how to describe it. It's just, everything's so stressful, right? So it's like just trying to find things that help you feel better in healthy ways, of course. And so for me, it's, you know, it's my art and music and, you know, trying to help. So like maybe donating items to charity to help people, or, you know, giving my time, that kind of thing, to help my community, things like that. So it's not just, I'm just like feeling completely helpless. I'm actually trying to do things to help, you know. It's something I've been just aware of and trying to do. I'll probably do a couple more. I've got to go pick up groceries before, you know, the weather gets worse. I really appreciate y'all spending some time with me today. Notice some of the color was off on this one, so I'm just going to add a little bit more paint here. There we go. Alright, I'll do a couple of overlapping hearts. These feel pretty dry. So, and then I'll show y'all what that looks like, what I was talking about. So this won't be the wet on wet technique. This will be the wet on dry. So paint directly to the paper. These were the wet on wet, so you do the water first and then the paint. This will be paint directly. Alright, so let's see. I'll go with a little bit darker heart here. Let's see, hopefully you don't see that alright. Since I went pretty dark on this one, you might not be able to see the heart underneath. But yeah, I just wanted that contrast on this one. The next heart, I'll definitely show you a little bit lighter of a tone and show you the difference. Alright. There we go. Alright. Alright, so I'm going to hit it with this pink here. That's probably like similar tone, and just see how that goes. Right. These both are dry, so I think I'll go over both of these hearts. No, it's still pretty dark. Yeah, if you wanted to water your paint down, this is something I'll show you in a second. So you can take some water, put it into your paint tray, and then add your paint to it. And then you can just keep diluting it with water, depending on, you know, how you want that to look. All right. So there's another heart. All right, so this is what I was talking about. You take this here. See all these little concave little spots here. You take your water. You can just add it wherever you want in there. Just like that. Just going to keep adding water. There we go. All right, and I'm going to take this pink, just a little bit, and put it in there. And I don't want to keep adding and adding paint because it'll just keep getting darker and darker, and that's kind of not what you want to do. So more water, dilute it some more, and there you go. Now you've got yourself a little bit lighter of a pink that you can work with. All right, I'll show y'all right here. Just gonna paint that on, and see, it's just really light, and that's okay. Now, if you want it darker, you can definitely add some more pigment to the water and just keep going. So it's just, you know, like how much you want to add. So I added just a little bit more, and see how I made it a little bit darker. You don't have to straight go in with like super dark paint. You can come in with a little bit of diluted paint and make hearts too. So just gonna let that dry, and I'll probably come back in here and maybe do some more hearts later. But I just wanted to spend just a little bit of time with y'all today and wish y'all a happy weekend, and hope y'all are, you know, doing all right and coping, and just wanted to show you that this is something that you can definitely do, especially if you're feeling anxious and maybe overwhelmed. Watercolor has been such a lifesaver for me. Like, I feel so much better after I paint. It helps ground you. Like, you feel, for me, it's like a meditation in a way, because I'm not really focusing on everything else. I'm just focused on this, and that really helps. But yeah, thank y'all so much for hanging out. If y'all are interested, I have merchandise, you know, up in my shops. I'm on Substack, here on YouTube, and Ko-fi. So if y'all want, check out the link in my profile. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you so much for being here. And man, it was just great hanging out with y'all today. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care, and I'll see y'all soon. Bye, everyone. Oh, and stay warm. Stay warm for sure. All right, take care.